What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with a review for Love During Lockup, Season 3, Episode 63, you guys. The episode is titled Catch and Release. So before we just go ahead and get into the review, you guys. If you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel and are not subscribed to the channel, I need you guys to do me that solid favor by stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it. At the end of it, do me a favor by liking the video, turning on your notifications, sharing the video, subscribing to the channel, and with that, you guys, with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss life during lockup, you guys. This was an interesting episode. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go in order of my notes this week. So we see Haley and Dalton. Well, we don't see Dalton, we see Haley. And you guys remember in last week's episode that Haley told Dalton that she was going to meet up with his father, right? And you guys remember that Dalton advised against that, right? So we see Haley, she's in Dallas and she's going to visit his dad. And I was looking, I'm like, I know exactly where she is. I don't know where his house is, but I know what area she's in. And when she gets to his dad's place, things are very awkward. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, why did you go against, you're trying to mend a relationship. If Dalton doesn't want to mend this relationship, why are you inserting yourself in it? It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then when she was sitting down talking to his dad, she was talking to him as if she's like Dr. Phil or something. It's like, ma'am, why are you trying to do something that you were not even asked to do? So his father says that he doesn't feel that Dalton is basically ready for an already made family, right? With, that is, Haley and her son, what is her son's name? Forgot what her son's name is, right? But hey, he doesn't feel that he's ready to be a family, and he feels like he needs to be with his family. And she felt some type of way about that. I've been looking at Haley for the last few episodes. I'm like, she looks, besides the hair, her looking like Cruella DeVille, she also looks like Margot Robbie. She looks like Margot Robbie, so it looks like Cruella DeVille mixed with Harley Quinn. That is really what she gives. She gives Cruella DeVille with the hair, right? But she gives in the face, it's giving, like I said, Margot Robbie as her portrayal of Harley Quinn. So that's what she looks like to me. So then we see her. So she took her mom over to the place that she bought, right? And her mom is like, this is nice. This is a nice place for you and your son, right? So we find out that Haley has been living with her father, right? Nothing's wrong with that. And her mother tells her, like, so because she's talking about when Dalton gets out, Dalton's going to come here, live with me, and we're going to build a family, right? And her mom was just like, so is his name going to be on the deed? And her mother is afraid that, she might lose this place. And Haley was like, how would I lose it? I'll tell you how you can lose it. That place is in your name, right? So let's just say, for the sake of saying, I'm not saying that this will happen, but when Dalton gets out of prison, what if Dalton violates probation, parole, or God forbid just goes into jail, and he asks you to put that place up as collateral? That's one way you could lose it. This isn't a felon that you're with, right? So you got to think things through. And then Dalton, we find out a little bit about Dalton. So I'm gonna assume, because she was like, "You sure you don't want to live here? Like, this is not Highland Village and this is not Highland Park." I was like, "You lying?" Dalton grew up in Highland Park, and if you guys don't know, Highland Park, that is one of them. It's an affluent, It's a small little neighborhood where the rich white people live, and I mean rich white people, right? They some stuck up people though. They some stuck up. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are. That's why I keep saying with y'all about people who watch The Real Housewives of Dallas. I don't know why people were so surprised at The Real Housewives of Dallas. They had some racist cast members. I ain't even gonna go there, right? But we're gonna move on, you guys. Next up, you guys, let's talk about Indy. I have a huge issue with Indy. We didn't get a big scene with Indy, but this one scene that we did get with Indy, it was just so off-putting to me, right? So we see Indy and her daughter So they are doing a video chat with Harry, right? Ain't nothing wrong with them. If the child knows who Harry is, that's cool, right? I don't have an issue with that. I don't really have an issue with it, right? And the child keeps calling Harry daddy. That was what my issue was, that she kept saying daddy. Now, granted, Indy did say that her daughter's father is a popcorn father, so he's in and out of her life, right? I get that as well, but why do you have this little girl calling Harry her dad? That's not her father. And like, y'all be so quick. Some of y'all be so quick when y'all dating a new man to have your kids call him daddy. What's wrong with saying Uncle Harry until you know? Because at this point, Harry is still in prison. Harry hasn't come home yet. So you don't know if this relationship with you and Harry is going to survive outside of prison. You don't know how healthy and viable this relationship is. So you getting your daughter involved and connected to someone that could be in her life for a lifetime or could be in her life for a short period of time. I just had an issue with that. A real big issue with that. So then, she's talking about she wants to contact Harry's family. Harry made a face. She's like, what was that face? He said, I would advise against that. So we found out, we didn't find out that much, but from what Harry was saying, it seems like Harry is estranged from his family. Don't know why, but I'm pretty sure we'll eventually find out, you guys. So guys, next up, let's move over to Ty. Ty is a hot ass mess, but that's my girl. So we see Ty. So she's out with her girls, right? And while she's out with her girls, who calls her phone? Boston calls her phone. And then I've been thinking about this for the last few episodes, the last 2 episodes. With Boston. How in the hell did Boston get not hot hotties? How in the hell did Boston get Ty's number? Like, Ty's not asking the right questions, right? Because the fact is that Hottie is, he's not claiming Boston, right? But then Ty, you gotta ask the question, how does chick get my phone number? How does she know who I am? So that means you either must have told her something, or she, like, how does she know who I am? Like, that is a real big question. How does Boston know who Ty is? How does she know who Ty is? And how does she get Ty's number, right? So Boston is telling Ty that she wants to meet up. So that's probably the episode where Ty and Boston gonna fight each other, right? So her friends are like, we want to set you up on a date with somebody. Like you ain't been hugged. Have you been hugged, touched by a man? She says not in 4 years. So Ty likes the intimacy that Ty likes is the intimacy from a letter, which that's not intimacy, but she likes the I guess romance. I don't know what she calls that. That is nothing. Like, anybody can write a letter to you and say some romantic shit, and then they don't really be feeling that shit, right? They can write whatever they want to write to you. So Ty agrees to go out on a date with this guy named Angel. So we see her and she is on this date, right? Oh my God. Ty. Angel is better than me because I would have left that date immediately. So Ty sits down, right? She likes what she sees, right? And, she likes how he makes, she likes the way he touched her, right? So then she says, is it okay if I check my phone? She said phone. She didn't say phones. She said phone. He said, yeah. She's like, I got to check on the kids. He said, do what you got to do. Mother first, right? So Ty goes through her bags. Ty pulls out this flip phone, looking at it, table. Flip phone, look at it, and put it on the table. Her main phone, put it on the table. He was like, how many phones do you have? Like, what's going on? She's like, I got to check on my businesses and all this kind of stuff. The one thing I will say about Ty is quick with a lie. She is quick with a lie. Now, are they convincing lies? Not at all. Not at all. So they're sitting there on their date, right? And her regular phone rings, right? I was like, Ty, are you really about to sit here and answer this phone on this date? Ty said, hell yeah, I'm finna answer this phone. I was like, why? The reason why she answered is because it's Boston. I'm like, I know you fucking lying. So my wheels are starting to spin a little bit, you guys. Like, I'm wondering how much of this is real and how much of this is for storyline. Follow my lead, you guys. Follow me. Because you're on a date, right? Now, I know she says that Boston calls her all times, and, she calls her back to back and, won't leave her alone. She's relentless, right? But how coincidental is it that you're sitting on a date, the cameras are there, your phone rings, and it's Boston? Did you, when you took out your phone, did you take out one of them and tell Boston to call you? So Boston, she answers the phone, she goes outside, she's talking to Boston. Boston wants to meet up with her. And Ty's like, we can meet up, but whatever energy you come with is gonna be reciprocated. So we know what that energy is that Ty is gonna, that Boston and Ty gonna have. Them hands gonna be, it's about to be a what? Girl fight. So she goes back to the table, right? And Angel asks her, so she's like, oh, I'm so sorry about taking that phone call. I had to take it because she told him earlier that she's a mortician, right? So she told him that the place flooded. I was like, really? That's the best lie you could come up with? You could have at least said it was one of your kids. And he knew she was lying, but he let it slide. So then they get their food and she asked him to cut her steak up, right? So he cut her steak up, but she's like, ooh, it's been a while since I had a man cut my steak for me. She's like, you keep doing things right, there'll be something else you can cut up. He's like, the way he looked at that camera, when he looked at the camera, he was like, I died laughing. Oh God, I'm like, Ty, Ty is a mess, you guys, but I love her. She was sexual. And then she started touching him. I was just like, Ty, what the hell? So they end the day. So they outside by her car, and I guess he liked I guess he liked it because he went in for the kiss with Ty. I was like, oh, okay, Ty, I can't even hate on Ty because Ty she doing the damn thing, right? So next up, we're gonna move on to Santiba and Tulsi. Santiba. I think Tulsi is playing you. I really truly think Tulsi is playing you. Tulsi is giving me Jeff from Love After Lockup, Jeff and Anissa. Remember Anissa, she couldn't remember her, when Jeff was supposed to be getting out of jail, she didn't know anything. Then you remember the one time he got out, the previous times he had got out of jail, he ditched her. So Santiba is doing this sexy photo shoot that she's going to be sending to Tulsi, right? And while she's doing, she was in a bathtub, right? And her phone rang. And she said, oh, that's Tulsi. Let me answer it. So she answered the phone. So she talks to Tulsi. Come to find out, Tulsi is about to be getting out of jail, right? She's like, oh, okay, so I'll come down there and I'll pick you up. He told her, don't come down here. I was like, oh, he told you not to come down there. But he has to go to the halfway house. She's like, I thought I was gonna come down there, pick you up, and take you to the halfway house. Once again, Tulsi says, Ixnay on net. I wonder if Tulsi got somebody else picking him up. I really wonder if Tulsi got somebody else picking him up. But Santiba says, fuck it, she's still going. I'm like, Santiba, I would really implore you not to do that. But Santiba is going to do whatever the fuck Santiba wants to do. All right, you guys, next up, let's talk about Gabby and Chris. Gabby is a rude motherfucker. So Gabby is out with her friend, right? So we find out why Chris is in the shoe. So Chris is in the shoe because Chris used someone else's phone time to have a conversation with Gabby, and he got caught. So then Gabby is talking about the fact that she needs to build this relationship with her mother-in-law, And I guess her mother-in-law doesn't feel the need to build. I don't know. I didn't understand what she was saying. So she asked her friend, should I call her his mother? She says, yeah. So she calls him, right, his mother, right? So she finds out that Chris is actually getting out of jail in 3 weeks, right? And that she wants Chris is going to be paroling to his mother's house, right? So his mother's like, and she said, see, Gabby thought his mother was saying that she's not going to come with him to pick Chris up. She says, that's not what I'm saying, girl. I'm saying when he comes home, you're not coming to stay here. She says, well, Chris isn't going to stay there without me. Why would you want to? Never mind. Because Gabby just gives me that her elevator don't ding, is what it's giving me at this point. So then, she hung up on his mom and she says, can you believe that fucking bitch? I was like, well, I shouldn't be too surprised the way she was talking to her mama last week, but I'm like, you just hung up on this man's mama and then you called her a fucking bitch. Do you not know most black men are crazy about if they have a relationship with their mother? Most black men are crazy about their mother. So you not gonna, you and Chris won't last very long if you think that you're gonna disrespect his mama. I'm just letting you know that right now, Gabby. You won't last. So then we see another scene where his mother calls her, right? And she says that she got an email from Chris saying for Gabby not to come with them. Gabby once again in her feelings. So Gabby, and then she said something about the feds. She said, but there was supposed to be no Fed time. She says, well, have you talked to anybody? She says, yeah, I talked to them, but they don't. It doesn't matter if I'm his mother, if you're his mother, his wife, his sister, or anybody. They're not gonna give you any information. I don't know why Gabby didn't want to listen to what the woman was saying. So she says, hold on. She called them on three-way. And just like what his mother just said a minute ago, those people didn't tell Gabby anything. They couldn't tell her nothing. And Gabby and her feelings about it. I'm like, well, his mama just tried to tell you, but your ass didn't want to listen. Gabby also gives me a know-it-all vibe. She feels like she knows everything, and Gabby wouldn't be for me at all. So then let's wrap up with Max and Tara. You guys, it ain't really much with this. So Max, we see him, he's over to his friend's crib, right? So Max is still dealing, Max is staying with his friend's house because, he had the whole issue with Anissa, whatever the hell her name is, right? So what they're doing is they're looking for information on Tara. So when they go searching for Tara, they can't find anything on Tara. But the interesting thing was they showed her mugshot, but probably but see, even in the state of Texas, like if you go look up a criminal and they're in prison, it'll tell you how long, what they're in jail for, what their projected release day is, and if they are up for parole, right? And then if they've been to the parole board and their parole was approved, it'll tell you when they're going to be released. And then once they're released, you won't, you'll see that they were released on X date, and then after that, you won't see anything else because they won't be in the system anymore. So when they're looking, there's no information on Tara. So they decide to call the prison. Come to find out, Tara's ass been released from prison for a month, and he didn't know nothing about it. I'm like, oh, okay. That's interesting and funny that your prison girlfriend has been released for a month and ain't said shit to you. All right, you guys, that's it. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Please leave your comments in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, share the video, you guys. And until the next one, you guys, stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. Remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.